Manchester United 2, Manchester City nil, and I can't believe we've come away with 3 points. I can't believe we've come away with a clean sheet. I'm happy with the win, happy with the performance, but let's speak a little bit about the starting lineup before we get into the chances. So Michael Carrick's first game in charge, he's obviously goes with Lemens in net, a back four of Dalot, Maguire, Martinez and Shaw, a double pivot of Menu and Casemiro, then in front three of Amad, Fernandes and Dorgu, and then Mbeumo playing as a false nine up front. So the only change from my lineup was that Amad and Dorgu started ahead of Cunha and Sesko. So personally, I was a little bit disappointed not to see Cunha and Sesko start. But can't really complain, with because the starting lineup that Michael Carrick did put out, and had a strong kind of opening first half. And in the first half, I think we were unlucky to be going into half time 0-0. But in terms of the first half, I think we had a really strong start. Especially in the first 10-15 minutes, we really started the game really, really well. In the third minute, Maguire heads off the bar. Kusanov puts the ball behind for an early United corner. Bruno Fernandes then delivers an in-swinger towards the back post, where Maguire beats Haaland to a header. However, he can only hit the crossbar from close range, and in my opinion, Maguire really should be scoring there. He has to score that in the third minute, and if that goes in, completely different game. Possibly we beat Manchester City by a bigger scoreline, because City really didn't turn up in my opinion. Then in the 11th minute, Dalot picks up a yellow card for catching Dorgu on the shin for a late challenge. He's perhaps unlucky. He's perhaps lucky not to have not to have that upgraded to a red. But in my opinion, if that had been a red card, it would have been really, really, really harsh. I don't think it was a red card, that one on Dalot, the Dalot challenge on Dorgu. So I think yellow card was probably fair. Then in the 17th minute, Luke Shaw then picks up a yellow card for a late challenge on Rodri, and at that point, Man United have both fullbacks booked, and I'm thinking that if Manchester City can run at them and possibly get into a 1v1 situation against Dalot and against Shaw, it can, and they commit to a tackle and they mistime the tackle, then one of them could be sent off, and then it's a different game. But thankfully, that did not happen. In the 21st minute, Dorgu has a shot which is saved after Bruno Fernandes sends over a raking cross from the left, and Mbeumo declines to touch the ball, and it instead runs for Dorgu at the back post. However, the latter's strike is then blocked by Manchester City's goalkeeper, who makes a crucial close range save. Then in the 34th minute, Amad has the ball in the back of the net, but it's ruled out for offside. Amad is caught narrowly offside when he latches onto the latest through ball from Bruno Fernandes before rounding Donnarumma and finding the back of the net. A brief VAR check then confirms that decision, but it was pretty close in my opinion. And I think Amad needs to be staying on side there. A little bit unfortunate that he was offside. Then in the 36th minute, this is probably City's best chance of the game, or one of City's only chances of the game, where Dalot has to clear it off the line. Dorgu drives inside from the left and fires a dangerous ball towards the far post. Lemens gets a slight touch as it flies behind. From the subsequent corner, Elaine's close range header appears to be sneaking in, but Dalot and Lemens combine to clear it away. Then in the 42nd minute, Bruno Fernandes has the ball in the back of the net as well, but that's ruled out for offside. Bruno Fernandes slips away from Ake and then rounds Donnarumma before finishing neatly and running away to celebrate. However, for the second time at that point today, Man United have a goal chalked off for offside, and VAR ultimately agrees as well. So in terms of the first half, stats, United only had 28 possession compared to City 72. And let me just confirm that. In terms of the stats in the first half, so in terms of the first half, Man United had 28% possession compared to Manchester City 72. We had 0.39 expected goals, compared to City's 0.23. We had 4 shots on target. 4 shots in total, 2 on target, and that was in terms of the first half stats. In terms of the first half, I felt like as if we were a little bit unlucky to be going into halftime 0-0. I think we definitely deserved the lead in my opinion. Had the better of the chances. Maguire hit the post in the 3rd minute, which he should have scored from to make it 1-0. Then we had 2 disallowed goals as well. One by Amad Diallo in the 34th minute, and then another one by Bruno Fernandes in the 42nd minute. So a little bit unfortunate that we had that Maguire hit the post, and then we had 2 offside goals. We had 2 goals disallowed for offside. So a little bit unfortunate that we were going into halftime 0-0. I definitely think we were the better side. City didn't really test Lemens. And yeah, so in terms of the second half performance, first of all, I was surprised as Man City making some changes. Foden and Elaine did go off for Cherki and O'Reilly. Then in the 58th minute, Donnarumma has to make a double save to keep City level. First, he makes a fine stop to parry away Amad Diallo's angled drive before reacting sharply to tow away Casemiro's close range follow-up. It was great goalkeeping by Donnarumma. He was definitely Manchester City's best player, but Casemiro, in my opinion, really should have scored from that chance in the 58th minute. Then, in the 62nd minute, Donnarumma has to make another save, seeing off the serious threat of Dorgu on the byline. Kusanov steps in to make a smart shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. However, City can't clear their lines, and Bruno Fernandes then sends a searching cross towards the back post. Mbeumo meets it, but Donnarumma rides to the rescue again. So Donnarumma making countless saves for Manchester City this match, but fortunately for Manchester United, Mbeumo makes it 1-0. Manchester City win a free kick, but nothing comes off it in United's half, of course. United win the ball back and break at speed. At the end of the quick counter-attack, Bruno Fernandes slips the Cameroonian Mbeumo onto his favoured left foot. He then fires calmly into the bottom right-hand corner, and Donnarumma could do nothing about that one. So, of course, we definitely deserve the lead, in my opinion. And, really good goal, really good counter-attack by Manchester United to make it 1-0. Then, in the 71st minute, we make a substitution. Mbeumo goes off, and then on comes Cunha. And then, in the 76th minute, Dorgu then makes it 2-0. Cunha does really well to beat his man and putting a cross into the box for Dorgu. Dorgu gets in front of Lewis and finishes from near the penalty spot. So good finish by Dorgu to get in front of Lewis, the Manchester City defender, and then obviously really good cross by Cunha. Really delivering the ball into a dangerous area, so that Dorgu can get on the end of it. Then United make a substitution in the 81st minute. Casemiro goes off for Ugarte, and then in the 89th minute, Amad then hits the post. Shaw makes two clearing headers, and the latter ultimately ends up in a quick United counter. Amad Diallo carries the ball a long way before lining up a potential third goal, but his shot under pressure thumps the right hand post. So a little bit unfortunate that Amad couldn't get that goal there to make it 3-0. Then in the 91st minute of injury time, United make a couple more substitutions. Fernandes and Shaw do go off for Mount and Heaven. Then in the 92nd minute, Mason Mount thinks he's made it 3-0, but unfortunately that's been ruled out for offside as well. United break with speed again. Amad plays in Cunha. Cunha then squares it across to Mount, who puts the ball into the empty net, but it's ruled out for offside, unfortunately. So, really good performance by Manchester United overall. 3 goals ruled out for offside, which is unfortunate. Maguire hits the bar in the first half, of course, and then Amad hits the post late on in the second half, and it could have been so much more, in my opinion. And that's what's a little bit frustrating about this result. Obviously, happy with the win, of course. I'm not complaining about that whatsoever, but we really had the chance to absolutely smash City in terms of the scoreline here, because City didn't really turn up, and United, like I said, 3 goals ruled out for offside. Maguire hits the bar, and then Amad hits the post as well, so it could have been so much more, in my opinion. But defensively, a clean sheet, which is good. I think Maguire and Martinez had a really, really good performance at the back, keeping the likes of Erling Haaland and Foden really quiet. Both of them, Erling Haaland and Phil Foden, had to be substituted because they were basically having no impact on the game. So overall, Man United's back four limited City to very few chances, so can't really complain about that as well. Defensively clean sheet, 3 points in the bag, and 2 goals, and like I said, it could have been so much more, in my opinion, and it should have been. But let's get into the player ratings, and then we'll take a look at the stats as well. So Lemens has got a 7.8 here. Wasn't really troubled, didn't really make, only one save he had to make, this one in the 37th minute, but apart from that, that was it. In terms of his accurate passes, 8 out of 13, 6 out of 11 accurate long balls, so he didn't really have much to do. He was kept reasonably quiet. He wasn't really troubled in goal, in my opinion, and clean sheet as well, 3rd one of the season for Lemens. Good performance by the back four overall, and Lemens had a quiet night in net. Dalot, 19 out of 27 accurate passes, picked up a yellow card early on in the first half, and I thought that would have been trouble, considering the likes of the wingers that City have, the tricky wingers with the likes of Dorgu and Semenyo. City getting into some dangerous positions. Had they targeted Dalot, that it could have been a long night for us if Dalot mistimes another challenge and then gets sent off, and similarly for Luke Shaw as well. But thankfully that didn't happen in terms of his duels. In terms of his duels, he's won 5 out of 7 there, so he's done well there in terms of his duels. So yeah, good performance by Dalot as well. He was also getting out to stop crosses into the box a lot quicker than we've seen him in previous games as well. So I was pleased that he was getting out to stop. I think he was up against Semenyo or Dorgu, one of the two. I think it was against Dorgu. So. I'm not sure who he was up against. Can't really remember now, but he was getting out to block crosses and stop the City wingers. Early on. In terms of Harry Maguire, he did have this shot, his header in the 3rd minute from a corner, which came off the post. A little bit unfortunate, no, that didn't go in. He should be scoring that chance, in my opinion. 20 out of 26 accurate passes with 77%. In terms of his duels, he's won 3 out of 5 here, so he's done well in terms of his duels as well. And Lisandro Martinez, good performance by him as well. 19 out of 22 accurate passes with 86%. 2 out of 2 duels won as well, so good performance by Martinez. Maguire and Martinez really stepped up and kept, like I said, Erling Haaland and Phil Foden really, really quiet, and so much so that they had to be substituted. Luke Shaw, 27 out of 30 accurate passes with 90%. In terms of duels, he's won 2 out of 6 there, so possibly could be doing better there. And he did get a yellow card again early on in the first half, similar to Dalot. And had City had something about them, if they should have targeted Dalot and Luke Shaw in terms of getting getting into 1v1 situations against them and possibly trying to niggle a foul out of them and possibly try get them sent off. But unfortunately, that for them that they didn't do so. But overall back four, good performance by them. Clean sheet for can't really complain, and they kept City reasonably really quiet, in my opinion. Casemiro had a good performance as well. 22 out of 30 accurate passes with 73%. Had this shot in the 57th minute, which was saved. So a little bit unfortunate that didn't go in. Possibly could be doing better there, but it was a good save by Donnarumma. And then duels won. He's won 6 out of 11 duels. So yeah, good performance by Casemiro as well. Kobbie Mainoo. He had a good performance as well, so hopefully he can kind of cement his place in Manchester United starting 11, because I think he's levels above Ugarte, and obviously Casemiro is most likely going to leave in the summer, and I want Kobbie Mainoo to stay. I think he's Manchester United's future. I think we need to build our next kind of squad and our next team around him as well. So hopefully he can kind of carry on this resurgence that we're seeing under Michael Carrick. I know it's only been one game, but I think Carrick rates him highly, so hopefully he can continue this. He was a good performance by Kobbie Mainoo. 31 out of 34 accurate passes with 91%. In terms of his duels, he's won 6 out of 12 there, so he's won 50% of his duels, so he's getting stuck in there. In terms of his defense, 3 tackles, 1 block, 2 clearances, 2 interceptions, 1 recovery, 1 dribble pass. So good performance by Kobbie Mainoo. Hopefully he can continue this good form, and hopefully we see the best out of him as well. And I don't want to see him leave. I think he's Manchester United's future. I think he's got a future at the club, and hopefully he can continue. Hopefully he can have a resurgence under Michael Carrick and continue and build from this performance that we've seen against Manchester City today. Amad, really good performance by Amad as well. Unlucky not to be coming away with a goal. Obviously he had 1 goal ruled out for offside, and then another one hit the post as well in the 90th minute. So a little bit unfortunate that he's not coming away with a goal. Probably deserved a goal for his performance as well. 14 out of 15 accurate passes with 96%. In terms of the duels, he's won 2 out of 5 there. So really good performance by Amad. Really happy and impressed by him as well. And then Bruno Fernandes, he's coming away with man of the match with 8.7 rating here. 32 out of 46 accurate passes, 70%, 6 chances created as well, which is great as well. And he could have had another assist with that corner that Maguire hit off the post. A little bit unfortunate that didn't go in. 5 out of 9 ground duels won, which is 56%, which is great as well, which is good. Good performance by Bruno Fernandes. He had a goal ruled out for offside as well, so that was unfortunate as well. So he could have been coming away. He could have been coming away with 2 assists and a goal on another day, and he probably would have had a 9.0 rating there. But Bruno Fernandes has been our best signing post at Alex Ferguson, and hands down, without a shadow of a doubt, he's carried us the past couple of seasons, and without him, we might have got relegated last season. But Bruno Fernandes, and we dearly missed him when he's been out injured. And he's definitely our best player, and hopefully he can kind of have a little resurgence at the end of the season as well. Grab more goals and assists to help us cement a top 4 finish, so we can qualify for the Champions League, and that would be great. And I don't want to see Bruno Fernandes leave in the summer as well. I think there have been some articles that have been said that he is not happy anymore and he wants to leave. Personally, I don't want to see him leave. I think he'll have one more year left on his contract, if I'm not mistaken. But personally, I don't want to see Bruno Fernandes leave. I want to see him continue playing for Manchester United. I think he can also play a little bit deeper as well in the double pivot role as well. So yeah, Bruno Fernandes, our best player post at Alex Ferguson, and today as well could have come away with 2 assists and a goal as well, which that goal was ruled out for offside. So a little bit unfortunate that he's only coming away with 1 assist, but six chances created, which is great. And then Patrick Dorgu, he had a good performance as well. I was a little bit surprised to see him start at left wing. Personally, I would have started him. I would have started Cunha, but can't really complain. He had a good performance as well. Good tracking back. I think defensively as well, the whole team played really, really well, because City basically dominated possession, but we set up in a really nice mid to low block, limiting any space Manchester City wanted to play. And obviously, Dorgu and Amad worked really hard defensively as well to help out the fullbacks, Dalot and Shaw. And, it can be seen in his performance here today. He's coming away with a goal. Really well taken goal. Obviously, assist by Cunha. 1 chance created as well. And then 10 out of 16 duels won, which is great as well. So he's won the majority of his duels there as well, which is good. And then finally, Bryan Mbeumo, we've missed him as well at AFCON. Thankfully, Amad and Mbeumo are back now. 3 shots, obviously coming away with the goal as well. 12 out of 13 accurate passes, 92%. I think he played a little bit as a false 9. Didn't really occupy the 2 centre-backs, Kosanov and Max Alane. So he was really kind of playing a little bit like a false 9 and not really occupying the centre backs. And good performance by Bryan Mbeumo as well, coming away with the goal. And then didn't win a single duel, unfortunately. So 0 out of 4 duels won. But like I said, he's coming away with the goal. So he played well up top. And personally, I would have started Sesko and Cunha ahead of Amad and Dorgu, but Amad on the right wing was so dangerous going forward, in my opinion, and a little bit unfortunate that that he didn't have his goal was ruled out for offside, and then obviously he hit the post as well in the 90th minute, which that should be going in my opinion. So this shot here, in the 90th minute where it comes off the post. Really unfortunate that didn't go in. Cunha, he's coming away with an assist as well. 10 out of 12 accurate passes, 83%. 4 out of 6 duels won, which is decent. And then Ugarte, only 9 minutes, 3 out of 3 accurate passes. There wasn't really on the pitch for too long. 1 out of 1 ground duel won. And then Aiden Heaven came on, didn't really have too much of an impact, only 1 minute on the pitch. Then Mason Mount as well, didn't really have, he did have an impact. He had a goal ruled out for offside. Only 1 minute on the pitch, of course, but I think it was a little bit unfortunate that goal was ruled out for offside as well. Whoever was offside in that needs to be staying onside, and we need to be staying onside, in my opinion. And had we stayed onside, had them goals gone in, we would have, this scoreline would have been it would have been like a shock of a scoreline, and that's what we really wanted. We could have made history here with regards to the scoreline. City have beaten us 6-1 at Old Trafford, and they've beaten us with various scorelines over the years, and we had the opportunity to kind of make history there with regards to the scoreline. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. And like I said, we had 3 goals ruled out for offside. We hit the woodwork twice as well. And on another day, it could have been 4, 5, or 6. It easily could have been 4, 5, or 6, and it should have been like 5-0 in my opinion. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. In terms of the stats, let's take a look at the stats quick time. You can see here, City dominated the ball possession like I expected them to dominate. But like I said, we sat in our mid to low block, allowed City to have possession with regards to the centre backs, and they passed it around the back with regards to Kusanov and Elaine and the other and Nico O'Reilly and Ake and what have you. But they didn't really offer too much threat going forward. Donnarumma had to make 5 saves, who was City's best player in my opinion. And if it wasn't for Donnarumma, it could have been more. And if it wasn't for if Manchester United players had just stayed on side, it could have been 5-0. But in terms of the stats, 32% possession compared to City 68. Like I said, I expected City to dominate ball possession. In terms of expected goals, though, you can see Manchester United have created the better of the chances. 2.03 expected goals compared to City's 0.45. 11 shots compared to City's 7. And City only had 1 shot on target compared to Manchester United, who had 7 shots on target. City had this 1 shot on target in the 37th minute, and we really did limit City to basically nothing going forward. You have a look at Haaland, Foden, and Silva. They barely got into the game, and Dorgu and Semenyo were basically ineffective as well. Didn't really get into the game, and we really reduced City to nothingness really. And there were so many opportunities in the counter attack that we had, that we really should have put the game to bed. It should have been 5-0 in my opinion. It should have been 6-0. We really should have. We had 3 goals ruled out for offside, and then we hit the woodwork twice as well through Amad and Maguire. So it could have been, if them goals, that's 5 chances there. 3 goals ruled out for offside. 3 goals ruled out for offside. Twice hitting the woodwork. That's 5 goals. They could have been 7-0. If the footballing, on another day, honestly, it could have been 7-0, and it should have been more in my opinion. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be with regards to the scoreline. But like I said, the shots, the shots we dominated. 6 big chances that United had. City had 0 big chances missed. United, from the 6 big chances that we had, we missed 4 of them. And like I said, it could have been so much more, but expected goals were dominating the stats here. Really good performance by us. Duels, we're winning more duels as well than Manchester City, 46 compared to 38. 37 ground duels won compared to City's 31. Aerial duels 9 compared to City 7. City did have more successful dribbles, but that was about it really. But yeah, Michael Carrick taking his first game in charge since returning as interim head coach, comes away with a fabulous, fantastic, well-deserved win and a massive 3 points in our quest to achieve Champions League football. But if you have a look at the league table right now, we did move briefly to 4th position because Liverpool hadn't kicked off, but we are in 5th position now, and Liverpool are playing Burnley right now, and I'm expecting Liverpool to win that game. So I'm not expecting Manchester United to be finishing inside the top 4 this game week. I'm not expecting us to be getting Champions League football either, because we have dropped too many points to lesser sides. So I don't think that we're going to be getting Champions League football. I don't think we were getting Champions League football under Amorim. I don't think we're getting Champions League football without Ruben Amorim either. So you have a look at some of the sides that we dropped points to. Obviously 10-man Everton, which was a poor result. That was 3 points there. Tottenham we drew, Bournemouth we drew as well, Leeds we drew, Forest we drew, West Ham we drew, Burnley we drew, Wolves we drew as well. So we drew to these 7 sides here. So that's 14 points dropped in total. And then we dropped 3 points to Everton at home, 14 plus 3 is 17. So 17, that's 17 points dropped, 17 easy points dropped in my opinion. So if we had got them 17 points, 35 plus 17 is 52. We would have been top of the league, if we had won them games, if buts and maybes, and football doesn't work like that. Of course, it's a results-based business, and the results haven't been good enough in terms of previous games. If we had won against Everton, Tottenham, Bournemouth, Leeds, Forest, West Ham, Burnley, Wolves, that's a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, add the 3, that's 17 points, and we're on 35 now. 35 add the 17 is 52. We would be top of the league had we won the games, and we should have been winning them games in my opinion, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. But like I said, today, happy with the win, happy with the 3 points, happy with the result. Next up, we do have Arsenal, and Arsenal, of course, are going to be probably winning against Forest, and they could go 9 points clear at the top of the league. So the league title is probably going to be Arsenal's, but that it is what it is, unfortunately. Anyway, like I said about today, happy with the win, happy with the performance, happy with the 3 points, happy with the clean sheet as well. That's our 3rd clean sheet of the season, so hopefully many more to come. Hopefully Michael Carrick can kind of get a little resurgence going, and yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed this review, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.